In the news this week, we look at the new Prime Minister's voting record on ethical issues, the BBC's Panorama exposes callous abortionists, and a former TV presenter shares how God has been his rock. Hello. Boris Johnson has become Prime Minister, but what does his voting record say about his stance on Christian issues? The MPs Vote section on our website lists all MPs' voting records on moral issues. Mr. Johnson voted against assisted suicide and against reclassifying cannabis to Class C, but voted for the Gender Recognition Bill. On the steps of Downing Street, in his first speech as Prime Minister, Boris Johnson briefly mentioned LGBT rights. He called them an equality on which we insist, but didn't expand further. In his first statement in the House of Commons, he committed to fight on behalf of persecuted Christians worldwide. The Bible commands us to pray for all those in authority, so please join us in praying for the new Prime Minister and his government. Pray that they might be given wisdom as they decide on the details of their programme and that they would protect gospel freedom in the UK. BBC's Panorama has exposed the callousness of some abortionists in the US. The largely pro-abortion documentary portrayed some pro-life protesters as aggressive or even dangerous. But presenter Hilary Anderson was shocked by the practices of abortionists. She witnessed the abortion of a 17-week-old baby and looked visibly uncomfortable throughout, remarking later that there was a big difference between thinking about abortion academically and seeing one take place. Later, Anderson interviewed a doctor who refused to confirm how late he would perform an abortion, but commented, "To the fetus it makes no difference whether it's born or not born." And when asked if he had any problem with killing a baby, he replied, "Absolutely not. I have no problem if it's in the mother's uterus." The NHS's only specialist transgender clinic for children has again come under fire for rushing youngsters into life-changing treatments. Dr. Kirsty Entwistle, formerly a psychologist at the Gender Identity Development Service, or GIDS, said staff at the clinic were making decisions without a robust evidence base. GIDS clinicians tell children and families that puberty blockers, hormone blockers, are fully reversible, but the reality is no one knows what the impacts are on children's brains, so how is it possible to make this claim? Separately, BBC Newsnight revealed that GIDS decided to lower the age at which children could take puberty blockers to 11 before their own study into the safety of the drugs was complete. Children placed on the drugs were part of a trial, but their parents were not told that almost all kids who take puberty blockers move on to infertility-causing cross-sex hormones. Professor Michael Biggs of Oxford University said, "I don't see that parents and their children could really have given informed consent given the lack of information that was provided." And finally, former TV presenter Simon Thomas has opened up about how God's peace sustained him after his wife's sudden death. The former Blue Peter and Sky Sports presenter had been married to Gemma for 12 years, but she died just 3 days after being diagnosed with cancer. He explained on Songs of Praise that before the tragedy, he had never truly understood the peace that passes all understanding. "What it did is it gave me peace, even amidst the noise and the fear, and it gives me the hope that one day I'm going to see her again." Well, that's all for this week. For regular updates and information on all our stories, plus much more, visit our website at christian.org.uk. Until next time, goodbye.